The Silk Road, a name that conjures images of bustling markets, vast deserts, and caravanserais filled with travelers from distant lands. But what if I told you that this ancient trade route didn't just connect two distant parts of the world? It actually reshaped the way we live today. Stretching over 4,000 miles, the Silk Road was more than just a path for merchants. It was a crossroads of cultures, religions, and ideas. And in its wake, it left behind a legacy that still influences our lives, our economy, our technology, even our way of thinking. Let's take a look at how the ancient Silk Road shaped the modern world. From global trade networks to the spread of innovations, this route was not just a bridge. It was the foundation of a world far more interconnected than we often realize. When we think of the global economy today, we think of massive ports, shipping containers, and high-speed rail lines moving goods across continents. But all of this has its roots in the ancient Silk Road. Back then, merchants would travel long distances, hauling valuable goods like silk, spices, and precious metals across Central Asia. The route wasn't just about the exchange of material wealth, though. It was the exchange of knowledge, mathematics from India, papermaking from China, and even the concept of zero that would change the world forever. Cut to a scene showing Chinese papermaking techniques. China's invention of paper, for example, didn't stay confined to its borders. It traveled west along the Silk Road, transforming the way the world communicated and shared knowledge. This simple material would eventually fuel the rise of literacy, education, and scientific advancement in Europe. The Silk Road didn't just carry physical goods, it was also a conduit for ideas and beliefs. One of the most profound influences was the spread of Buddhism from India to China and beyond. Scene changes to a Buddhist monk traveling on a camel. As monks and traders moved along the trade routes, they spread not only goods, but also religious beliefs, philosophies, and cultural practices. This led to the flourishing of new schools of thought, like Zen Buddhism in Japan, and the incorporation of Buddhist concepts into Chinese art and politics. Cut to scenes of Christian missionaries and Islamic traders on the move. Later on, Islam spread rapidly along the Silk Road, bringing with it advancements in science, medicine, and astronomy. The exchange of religious and philosophical ideas changed societies, laying the groundwork for intellectual movements in the Renaissance and Enlightenment. But the Silk Road wasn't just about the exchange of goods and ideas. It was also a pathway for the rise of great empires. The Roman Empire, the Persian Empire, and the Tang Dynasty all flourished, partly because of their access to this trade route. Cut to a reenactment of Roman traders meeting Chinese merchants. The Romans, for example, valued silk from China so much that they were willing to trade gold and silver for it. This trade allowed the Roman Empire to grow wealthy and extend its reach across the Mediterranean. Scene changes to a bustling modern-day financial district. Fast forward to today, and the global economic system is essentially a modern version of the Silk Road. We now trade everything from oil to technology, but at the core, the same principles apply. Markets that span across countries, currencies that move freely, and the global exchange of information are all direct descendants of the interconnected world that the Silk Road helped create. The Silk Road also laid the foundation for many of the scientific and technological innovations we take for granted today. Take, for example, the concept of zero, a concept that revolutionized mathematics. Zero made its way from India to the Middle East, and eventually to Europe, where it played a critical role in the development of algebra, calculus, and the computer age. Cut to a scientist working on a computer. Today, we take for granted the computer systems that are powered by binary code that traces its origins back to the mathematicians and scholars who exchanged knowledge along the Silk Road. Now, over 1,000 years later, the spirit of the Silk Road is alive again. China's Belt and Road Initiative is a modern attempt to revive the ancient trade routes, connecting Asia, Europe, and Africa through infrastructure projects like highways, railways, and ports. Cut to a map showing the Belt and Road Initiative. This initiative is not just about trade. It's about creating a new global network. Just like the ancient Silk Road, it's helping to forge new economic relationships while also spreading culture, ideas, and technology across the world. And as it continues to expand, the Belt and Road Initiative may very well shape the next chapter in global trade, just as its ancient predecessor did. The legacy of the Silk Road is more than just a series of trade routes. It's a testament to the power of human connection. It shows us that the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures can shape the course of history and create a world that is more interconnected and interdependent than ever before. Cut to a scene of a crowded market, blending modern-day commerce with ancient trade. The Silk Road may have been born in the ancient world, but its influence continues to reverberate today. From the way we trade to how we share ideas, the Silk Road didn't just shape the past, it shaped the present and will continue to influence the future. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more insights into the history that shaped our modern world. End credits. The past isn't gone. It's just waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more stories to life